What's up, Dark Lord?
What's up, Smash Mouth?
Smash Mouth.
Hey, now you're an all-star.
Hey now. Fuck. We were supposed to record yesterday, last night. Time has no meaning. And Toad ran full steam from the kitchen to the couch and punched me in my fucking mouth and cut the corner of my mouth open. So I'm like, Tenny, you can't make me laugh or I'll split my lip open. So we gotta wait till tomorrow. And then you called me on the phone anyway and told me a crazy story and made me laugh.
Did he hit you with his head?
No, like his front paw, like he dove like a Superman and his front paws were out front and both of his paws like went into the corner of my mouth and like one of his paws scratched down my fucking face and the other one I think caught maybe the corner of my mouth. So not only was it a punch, but it was like a fish hook almost.
What a good boy.
I know, what a psychopath. He felt so bad because I like screamed. It like really, and then I started to taste blood in my mouth. I'm like, this is fucking fantastic.
He's a good boy.
He's a freak, dude. But the last two times I went to work, he didn't touch one thing in the house. He did so fucking good. And then he punches me in the face in the same week.
He's like, I'm growing up now. I don't destroy the house. I rip up my mama's face.
I know. He's like, I've turned from the living room to my mom's actual face. But I learned today that, okay, so I have two family gatherings to go to for Christmas, one on Christmas Eve and one on Christmas Day, and they have both cordially invited Toad.
Wow.
I know. I didn't even have to ask.
Amazing. I have zero Christmas plans.
Well, isn't your sister going to come over or are you going to go
I think they're going, I think they have a trip. Maybe they're going to Chicago or something. And then I think my dad's going to his friend Melvin's house. And so
who the fuck is Melvin?
his buddy up north that he does stuff with. I don't know.
Crazy Melvin down the dirt road.
Melvin's like 20 years younger than my dad. So my dad hangs out with him.
That's like us.
Yeah, kind of. So maybe this time will be the first time in a long time I'll have a sad John Christmas like I used to have when I lived by myself.
No, you come with me.
No.
Don't you want to?
Sad John Christmas is always, I make myself a little vegan turkey loaf and some mashed potatoes. And then I watch Charlie Brown Christmas. And then I look at my tree, which I have to get this weekend. And then I open up an empty present and I go, yeah.
Stop.
Christmas.
First of all, I've already got you shit for Christmas, so you can open a real fucking present. And you can pick either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day to have that sad Christmas by yourself, but one of the days you can come with me.
No, Christmas Eve, I'll probably go to my friend Scott's house.
You're making people up now.
Nope, that's true. Many years I've gone to my friend Scott's on Christmas Eve.
Well, whatever. I don't know why you hate my family.
Every Christmas Eve, they go out Christmas caroling till like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I think you actually did tell me this last year on this exact podcast.
Yeah. And then like they go to his house and everybody like sits around and eats. And then I sit in the back around the fire pit by myself and I open up empty box and I go, Merry Christmas.
Stop with the empty presents. People are going to send you empty presents in the P.O. box. It's going to be so sad.
Won't be the first time.
Ayo, it's better than people's underwear and shit.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh, boy.
But I have to go and get a tree this weekend. Want to take me to get a tree?
Yeah, duh.
We can put on Halloween masks again.
I know, we have to wear masks to get our trees again. Last year I was a werewolf and you were an alien, so we have to pick different masks.
I'm going to be a gorilla this year.
I want to be a cryptid.
Wait, I have 2 gorilla masks. We could be 2 gorillas.
No, I want to be something different.
I have that Suscon Screamer mask.
Yeah, I want to be that, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's that weird screaming lady mask.
Isn't that just going to look like my normal face?
Yeah, I was going to say you should put something on that doesn't look like you. Just have Toad punch you in the face 4 or 5 more times.
Then I'll just be bleeding out of my face and go get the tree. And then I'll sit by the trees and open an empty present.
Wah, wah.
Meow.
I wonder how much a tree is going to be this year.
Fucking $700.
I mean, last year I think it was like $80.
No, it was more. I think it was like 120.
Oh, maybe.
I think it was because I was remembering back when I used to get one with my parents and I swear they were like 45 or 60 or something. And I remember we were thinking it was like double.
You know what my dad does, don't you?
Just goes and cuts down a random tree.
That's exactly what he did and does. Yes. Goes on the property, cuts down a tree and puts it up in the living room. He's like, I planted that tree.
We can do that if you just get a tarp and roll it before we put it in my car or some shit.
You know, you just reminded me.
That you have something rolled up in a tarp?
No, that me and my punk rock friends, when we were like 15 or 16, we stole a Christmas tree from the city of Royal Oak and we wrapped it in a tarp and dragged it like 1.5 miles back to my friend Les's house.
Yeah, we could easily do that.
How did nobody see 5 teenage kids dragging a tree for a mile at 2:00 in the morning. Why did no one stop us?
Is there a statute of limitations? Are you in trouble right now?
I think 7 years for theft is fine.
Cool. Let's go steal a tree.
I'll buy a tree. You and Toad can come over and you can help me decorate.
I would love to, because I'm not putting mine up this year again. Yeah, that would be fun. We could Patreon video it.
Maybe.
We can get sauced.
Get sauced. Maybe some mulled cider. What is that?
I don't know. It sounds gross. Why does it sound old?
Should I like it then?
I don't know. I was watching, speaking of drinking, I was watching a true crime video last night. This kid, the narrator, he's from the UK. He doesn't understand some of the stuff in our stories. Like, he'll put on the screen a reference photo for some of the stuff he's talking about. And he referenced a trailer park last night, and he put like trailers in a parking lot, like not like, I'm like, no, that's not what a trailer park is, but you tried. But anyway, last night he was like, he said some guy moved to another country for work, and he's like, and this is where he became a little too familiar with the whiskey. Like, that's what I'm gonna call having a drinking problem now, is he's a little bit too familiar with the alcohols. I thought that was a cute, nice way of putting it, instead of, oh, he moved and became a drunk.
Medicine.
We're all familiar. I'm familiar with bagels and mashed potatoes.
I got familiar with alcohol this week and threw up.
I know you puked again. You're like 17 years old.
Twice.
What the fuck?
Once like 12 hours after I stopped drinking.
I know. I didn't go.
I went to the bar. I had lots of drinks. I came home, threw up, fell asleep. Like 12 hours later, threw up again.
Worse.
It's so weird to me because when I threw up 12 hours later, like it was still alcohol. Like it was still in my stomach after 12 hours.
Yeah, that's yucky.
Gross.
Gross. Yeah, but you probably didn't eat.
I didn't eat.
Yeah, what do you think's gonna move it out of there? It's not just gonna leave.
It's supposed to get sucked up and absorbed by my body.
Maybe you killed your liver.
Maybe maybe I've just revealed, maybe someone listening who's like a doctor is like, oh no.
Well, go get a checkup.
Nah.
I could give you a kidney. I can't give you my liver.
Is there a thing about where if you put a piece of liver on a table and put some milk near it, it'll crawl toward it?
I like how I just told you I would give you one of my kidneys and you didn't even fucking react or anything.
Yeah, it's unknown. I know you'd give me one. No big deal there.
I know. You're my friend.
I would give you one of my kidneys. I would give you any part of my body that I didn't need, but when we'd get to the hospital and the doctors would be like, you don't want this.
Some of your organs gotta still be good.
She needs a new lung. Take one of Tenny's lungs. Oh, don't take one of Tenny's lungs. You don't want that.
Nope, you got that popcorn lung. Nope, you could have one of mine. Mine are fucking golden.
So you say.
Okay, I've never smoked ever.
All filled with dog hair and dog farts.
That's true. The only smoke that's in there is from standing next to you at rest stops. But anyway, we went to Columbus this past weekend.
That's called secondhand sad.
Oh, we went to attend the GalaxyCon, Comic-Con in Columbus. And one of the biggest things in my life ever, happened. See, he remembers. I met Richard Dreyfuss. Yes. Hooper from Jaws. Yes. Dr. Leo Marvin from What About Bob? He was so fucking nice. He told me a bunch of stuff, and Toad kissed him right on the mouth on accident. Toad kissed Richard Dreyfuss on the mouth. He told me that the part in Jaws where he sings Farewell and Adieu was completely not in the script at all. They didn't know he was going to start fucking singing it. So once I got home, I Googled that to see if it was true. And there's nothing about it on the internet whatsoever about it not being in the script. And I went through the fucking script myself and it's not in there. And the only thing that I could find about it is when Robert Shaw was way younger, he was in like a fucking sailor movie or some shit. And he sang that song in the movie as his character. So once there was dead space in Jaws, he must have just started singing this weird fucking song he sang in one of his old movies.
Breaking news.
I know we got a secret.
Breaking Jaws news.
Spoiler alert, Adam Barry. Anyway. And then he said, I read before that you and Robert Shaw didn't get along. Is that true? And he's like, that couldn't be further from the truth. He's like, we loved each other. He was the best, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why they ever wrote about that. That was, bogus just to get readers or clicks or to start drama or whatever. He's like, it wasn't true. And I go, I read that you and Bill Murray do not like each other. I'm like, is that true? He's like, that one's true. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I read that he screamed in your face. And he's like, I'm like, not cool. He's like, no, not cool. He's like, he's the only person I've ever worked with that we fucking hate each other. I'm like, yikes. I'm like, that sucks because I love that movie. And he's like, hey, you can love that movie. He's funny. I'm funny. But yeah, we don't get along.
And then did you ask him about Aliens? Because he was Roy Neary in Close Encounters.
I didn't. I forgot. And I wanted to tell him too because Billy Zane is working on a fucking Marlon Brando biopic and fucking Richard Dreyfuss is in it. And I went to bring it up and I fucking forgot because I was sweating and so nervous. I've met so many fucking people and I don't think I've ever been this nervous. I was like hyperventilating, sweating, like my face was fucking sweating.
You did look pretty gross.
Thanks, man.
Perfect time to meet your hero.
I know, right? It was hot as balls in there, first of all, but
That place was full of hot breath.
Oh, and there was another part I showed him. I have a Jaws tattoo on my arm and I have one on my ribs. And I told him about them. And the 3 guys are on my fucking arm in the orca, in the boat. And I pointed to him first. I go, that one's you. And then he goes, no, that's me. And pointed to Quint. I'm like, no, that one's you. And he's like, no, that's me. And he pointed to Brody. And I'm like, no, that's you. And he's like, I know. It was so cute. It was like such a like dad thing to do. It was so cute.
Oh, Richard Dreyfuss tells dad jokes and it's all golden. Tenny tells dad jokes and getting sick. Got to sign off. Can't be with me anymore.
You told me so many. I don't know what it was about you at the convention, and Chris Jiminis was with us, and you were telling so many fucking dad jokes. And then, no, wait, when did it start?
When we did the Richard Estep's Christmas special.
Oh, yeah. And then you dragged them into the weekend, and now people are DMing me fucking stupid jokes.
Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted.
I literally hate everything. You fucking, what did you say? There was 2 that were fun. No, you already said them on the last one, didn't you?
Yeah, I said them all. Don't you listen to this podcast?
No. No, I do. I just can't remember the fucking order of things. Oh, and then at the convention, I got annoyed because Kevin Smith. Okay, everybody was out. Everybody was at their tables. Everybody was out. You could see everybody. A bunch of people pet Toad. And I was annoyed because I just wanted to see Kevin Smith's face. Like, I didn't want to wait in line for him or like pay for a photo or anything. So I was like, I just want to see him. And he was like, they made him like a closet out of barriers. So you had to go in there and meet him. And then I met back up with you and I'm like, I'm so annoyed. Kevin Smith's in this thing. What the fuck? Who does that? And then you tell me a story. And what was the story?
I did Scarefest many years ago and Carrie Elways was there from Princess Bride. And he had a tent around his table so that no one could see him or take pictures of him without him knowing. And so I was mad at him all weekend long. Then we had a ride back to the airport together in the same limo. And I said, so you got a tent around your table so people can't take pictures of you. And he kind of looked up at me and he goes, no, I have a tent around my table because people are spending really good money and I want them each to have an individualized experience with me. And then I was like, oh, you're a nice guy.
I know. I was so bent. And then you told me that story and I'm like, fuck, that's probably what Kevin Smith is doing. I'm like, fine.
Fine.
Katie said something too about him possibly having an autoimmune disorder or some shit that he's been talking about. So
yeah, probably, maybe.
Yeah. Everybody else was out. You said hi to Barry Bostwick. That was exciting. He's in Rocky Horror. He's in a lot of things. What did you what what is it?
First of all, I have never seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that's so depressing.
Never.
Depressing.
One of the only times I can remember my mom taking me to see a movie, she took me to see a movie called Megaforce, which stars Barry Bostwick. And so that's kind of what I approached him about. I said, do you have any Megaforce posters? This is the only like movie I can remember my mom taking me to see. And she took me to see it because Barry Bostwick is very young in that film and spends the entirety of the film in a tan satin skin tight bodysuit.
Oh my. Oh my.
And I think that's why my mom took me.
She had her own motives for wanting to see the movie.
Because that movie is terrible.
You all talked for a long ass time, and he still has the best hair.
Oh my God. I don't know how these guys do it.
I know.
He's got such a chunk of like perfect, beautiful hair. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was sick.
So yeah, I talked to him, and then I think that's about it.
You met the comic guy.
Yes, Mike Grell. He was an illustrator for a comic book called Warlord back in the 70s. And at one of my first comic conventions, I was probably 13. It was the first comic convention with like some real notable illustrators. I had been to comic book conventions before that, but nothing that big. And I liked Warlord. I still have my Warlord action figure from back then, but I really like House of Mystery, which was a horror comic. And so I asked Mike Grell way back then if he could draw me Kane, the caretaker of the House of Mystery. And it's not his comic, it's not his character, but he was like, yeah, sure, of course. So he drew it. And then within 3 or 4 years, I lost that drawing, just moving and stuff. So when I saw that he was at this event, I said, hey, when I was 13, you drew me a picture of Kane, the caretaker of the House of Mystery. Can you draw me another picture of Kane, caretaker from the House of Mystery? And he said, yes. So now I have a picture of Kane.
Yeah, he said he distinctly remembered that because nobody else has ever asked him to draw it. And then we walked away from the table and you're like, he's a liar. He's lying.
I don't believe that people remember stuff like that.
No, that was so sweet. That was like a real moment. Like that guy has no reason to lie. He's an old man.
And then he gave me a comic book that he's working on. And within the first like 4 pages of this comic book that he's doing, it talks about tulpas and agregors and witchcraft and Aleister Crowley and magic at the turn of the century. It's crazy.
That's sick.
And he gave me his business card and said, if you ever want to talk about ghosts and magic stuff, drop me a line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave our podcast sticker to a lady that was in Star Trek Wrath of Khan. And we saw Tom Welling, who looked like a crazy mountain man. I don't know why he looks like that now. And I saw Jason Mewes. There was this guy, Matt Ryan, who was on Constantine TV show. He wanted to pet Toad. And then this lady, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, she's the voice of Tails, like Sonic and Tails. And she put Toad on her Instagram.
What?
She did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's famous.
Jiminy Christmas. Oh, and I talked to James Urbaniak.
Oh, yeah, you did.
He does the voices on the Venture Brothers, and he was on a show called Review, and he's like a comedian and voice actor that's in a whole bunch of stuff.
And then Brandon Routh was there. He looked very much how he was supposed to, unlike Tom Welling, looked like he lived in the woods for 3 years. And then Vincent D'Onofrio was there. He was one of the only people with a mask on. But yeah, it was a good con.
Yeah, it was good con.
And then after we went to a haunted bar called the Elevator Brewery.
Did you mention Chris was with us?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris came with us to the bar too. The bar opened in 1897. The bar that's inside of the bar came from the Chicago World's Fair. They built it in 1893 and then like moved it into that bar. And then the waitress told us some ghost stories. She said that a long time ago, some guy was shot out front, and every year on that date, it'll like snow. And even if nobody's walked by, there'll be like weird footprints in the snow.
Yep.
And she said too that the kitchen's in the basement and they hung pots from the ceiling and there's like no doors or draft down there, but the pots would like violently bang together all the time. So they had to move the fucking pots. And yeah, that place was pretty, really pretty inside. Then we went to our haunted hotel that we stayed at, the Westin Great Southern Columbus. And they were very good to us. I told them, I put in the notes, A, put us in the most haunted room or floor that you have, and B, we have a popular podcast, hook it up. It actually worked. We got there and they gave me, you, and Chris bottles of champagne. They gave us 2 p.m. checkout.
The 2 p.m. checkout is the banger.
That was clutch, dude. That was the shit. We just woke up at noon.
It's brilliant.
I know. That was clutch. Anyway, that hotel was built in 1896. It's on the National Register of Historic Places.
Can you imagine like 3 single servings of champagne bottles that we got and a 2 p.m. checkout? Can you imagine what the life of someone that is actually famous is probably like?
Oh, yeah. They're just like, here's a flat screen TV to take with you home.
Yeah. Just like if you think about like, just think about like Leonardo DiCaprio like checking into a hotel. And then going up in the hotel, and there's like a car in the room waiting for him and some watches.
Baby smart car in the room and a cheese plate and like a butler. Yeah, I was sick. And then, so we got there and the nice lady that checked us in told us that she saw one of the luggage racks like slam into the planter for no reason one night. That was like her thing that she's seen before. So then I watched my fights. You fell asleep. Then you woke up and you had to go smoke. And while you were gone, I heard a fucking ghost in the room, literally. I was laying there. It was 3:30 in the morning. I was laying there with my eyes closed because I had a headache and I was like waiting for you to come back because like I knew Toad would bark when you came back in the room. So there was no sense in falling asleep. So anyway, so I'm laying there and I had my arm flopped over Toad. So I'm laying there for just a couple minutes and I hear somebody, it was like a high pitched voice. It was like if a Disney princess did a gasp, like right at the end of the bed, it went like, and I was like, what the fuck? And like my eyes shot open and I felt Toad react to it and his ears went up and I was like, oh fuck, he heard it too. So I'm just like laying there. It was so fucking loud. I expected like a lady ghost to like walk across the fucking room. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I couldn't even close my eyes. I'm like, all right, I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. And then you came back. What did you tell me that the lady said?
That they put us on the most haunted floor. She couldn't tell us which room was the most haunted because the room numbers have changed.
Mhm.
But she put us on the most haunted floor. And there are two, there's one alleged death in the story that is a bride who fell off a balcony and died. And then there is a known death, which is a DJ who killed himself in the hotel.
In the 70s.
In the 70s on the floor we were staying on.
Yeah, potentially in the room we were in, but they couldn't tell us. So I'm like, did I hear the ghost of the bride? Did I hear the ghost of like whoever found the DJ? Did I hear somebody else? I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was loud and it was crazy.
It was very crazy.
So, but I was stoked because I go on these road trips and I pay extra to stay at these haunted hotels. And they're usually A, like kind of expensive because they're historic, and B, just not that nice per se. Like the rooms are really tiny because old hotels used to have tiny rooms and there's not that many amenities and the bathrooms usually kind of old. Like, but I pay more because I want something to happen. And every single time I stay in one, nothing fucking happens. So I was stoked that something finally fucking happened.
You know what really bums me out sometimes? And
What?
I know that I'm probably in a minority on this, but who knows? Whenever I go to a haunted hotel and want to get the haunted room, I am so bummed out when I go in the allegedly most haunted room of a hotel and it's filled with like scary dolls and Ouija boards and fake like you don't have to make it look spooky. Like I just want to stay in the haunted room.
I mean, for the record, that's not how our hotel was. Our hotel was very lovely. And you said that the lady at the desk said that every single president ever has stayed there, ever.
Yeah. No, I'm saying our hotel was great, but I've been to a lot of haunted hotels where they feel like the spooky room has to look like the spooky room.
Oh, no, that's whack.
It's way more creepy if you just make it, if it's just a room and weird shit happens in it.
Yeah, and places, people that buy like famous like movie locations too, like horror movie locations, like you don't have to turn it into a fucking Spencer's. Like don't put the fucking bullshit all over it. Just make it look how it's supposed to look. So corny. Don't be corny. Just make it look spooky and old.
Or if it's a like you said, if it's from a movie, just make it look like it looked in the movie.
Literally. Like the people who bought the Buffalo Bill house from Silence of the Lambs, they put all this garbage in it. Every time I see pictures of it online, I'm like, oh, you have every single piece of art on Etsy that somebody's ever made of Buffalo Bill, and it's in that house. That looks whack as fuck.
It's exactly what you want when you walk into a movie house that you've seen in the movies over and over again, and you walk in and there's like a $6 standee of Hannibal Lecter in the corner.
Exactly. Like, can it just look like a room? What is this garbage? How fucking irritating. It takes you out. That's so stupid. Anyway, so then
I think we're in the minority in that. I think people love that.
no, I don't think they do. I hope they don't, because that's cheesy. Or at least like make one room like that where it's like the collectibles room, not the whole fucking house. So the next day, we did all the things. We went to this place called Schwartz Castle in Columbus. There's like conflicting dates of when it was built. Like some say mid 1800s, some say mid 1880s, sometime in the late 1800s. The story is so fucking weird. So this guy, Frederick Schwartz, he used to own an apothecary shop. He built the house for his young bride to be. She broke up with him before the wedding. So from then on, he sat alone in the castle that he built for her and slipped into madness. He stopped shaving, stopped eating meat, stopped wearing shoes. On sunny days, he would climb the ladder up to the big tower and sip glasses of rainwater. And he built 5 layers of basement under this place, built 1 million rooms, stayed in there forever. And now they say that he can still be seen, like obviously he's dead. And people say they see his ghost on the fucking tower naked, drinking ghost rainwater. So we went there and it was sweet. But somebody told me you could book it on Airbnb. So I looked it up. But listen, somebody roomed the whole inside. It looks just like a regular house inside.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. The outside looks so spooky. I'll put a picture on our Instagram.
Does it look like a hotel lobby?
There's like some exposed brick left in some of the rooms, but other than that, it looks very normal. Like everything weird is gone inside. It just looks like regular painted apartments or rooms. I don't.
Well, you don't know what that dude was doing in there. Maybe they had to get rid of that stuff.
I know, true.
Could have been pooping on walls and
I know. I was just thinking that if he runs around naked all the time, he just wiped himself on the wall.
yeah.
Oh, Mr. Schwartz.
You never know if he's doing a Rhea sprinkler
Ew.
where you get Rhea and then you just spin around in a circle.
Like, how do you get broken up with and then you stop eating and shaving and leaving your house and you climb on the roof naked and drink rainwater?
That sounds like something I would do if I got broken up with.
That sounds like what you're going to do on Christmas.
He lived by himself and descended into madness. He would walk around his house naked, open empty Christmas presents, and drink rainwater.
Except the inside of your house is still cool as fuck. Then we stopped at this place called Witch Lab in Columbus, which is arguably the best witch store we've ever been to ever.
It looked like a witch store.
It did. And it had 2 sections. The front was gigantic. It had so much shit. And then you cross into the back, and the back was almost equally as big. They had like a reader of some sort back there. I don't know what kind of reading she was doing, but they had herbs.
She looked like she was doing tarot readings.
Yeah, but it was dope. They had bones and shit. They had fucking everything.
It looked like you want an occult shop to look.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. It wasn't like woo-woo stuff. It was like darker. It had like antiques in it. It had lots of taxidermy. It was stunning. And they didn't mind that we brought Toad in, which is always a plus.
And they had matches, which I'm always happy about in witch stores.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, even with like the magic that I do, like I like using matches over lighters.
Yeah, that was cute. Everything they had was cute. We stopped at this coffee place that I found online that's inside a historic Presbyterian church that was built in 1880. We got a coffee and then we left, and I'm like, Tenny, we have to go to another coffee place. So we had to get another drink, and we stopped at a cat cafe called Kitty Bubble. Kitty Bubble.
I thought it was Bubble Kitty.
No, Kitty Bubble.
Oh,
Kitty Bubble.
that
And
makes
I
more
posted
sense,
on
I
our-
guess.
I mean, none of it makes sense, really, but I posted a picture of you in Kitty Bubble on our Instagram today, and everybody really got a kick out of that.
Yeah, just the loneliest man in Kitty Bubble.
I know. Well, you look like a fucking like bodyguard, first of all, in the photo, and you're just like sitting in this aqua and pink colored nightmare room with cat paws everywhere, and the chair is shaped like a cat, and you're just like in all black. It's real good.
But we didn't get to touch cats.
We didn't, because you had to make an appointment. Okay, first of all, they have drinks there, like that's food service, so they couldn't have the cats just like in the room. So it was a separate cat room, and then a guy told us we had to make an appointment for the cat room. I'm like, how's anybody fucking supposed to know that? But we could see them through the window, and their bathroom sign said litter box, which I was fucking really excited about.
Too excited about it.
I know. So we got cute teas there. I got a strawberry tea with weird fruit in the bottom. And we went to a place called Tranquility Salt Cave, which you really made fun of a lot when we were out front of it.
I mean, I told you when we were there, I have been in the Detroit salt mines. The Detroit salt mines are literally probably hundreds of miles sprawling underneath the entire city of Detroit, big enough to put multiple semi trucks next to each other. They are salt mines. And so when you were like, I'm going to take you to this salt cave, and then you pulled up in a strip mall, I was like, what?
Like, this isn't a salt cave.
Is this underneath the strip mall? Is that what it's going to be? And then I realized it's going to be a room filled with salt.
Dang, it would have been sick if we would have went underground. But yeah, this lady in there, she was so nice. She like took us around the facility and showed us. They had like a room where they did like chakra light therapy. They had this crystal mat that you could lay on. They had Reiki and shit. And then you go in this salt cave, which is amazing. I put it in our Patreon video. But yeah, you go in there for like sessions of 45 minutes and it clears everything. And she said there's salt in the air and ions, and it was dope in there. And there's salt on the floor. Like, you just trudge through fucking salt.
They have socks you're supposed to put on and take off. You did not.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay, I just walked in my regular socks.
Oh, I know. Then you had salty feet all for the rest of the trip.
I did. It was fine. We were on our way home anyway, but that was sick. And we got vegan food after that. We went to this place called Satan's Realm, LOL.
And it was good.
It was so fucking good. Oh my God. When we were home the next day, I'm like, I wish I would have got 2 fucking sandwiches.
Yes, I agree.
And you got me a shirt.
Because we're friends.
I know, that was cute. And there was all horror posters inside of it.
You know, and there was looked like a mom and her daughter dressed up as giant horned witches.
Yeah, I forgot about that. We're just standing out front. These people came out that looked like fucking extras in Wednesday. Horns on for no reason. They were so cute. Then we sang Skid Row and Motley Crue and Danzig all the way home.
Yep.
Yep.
We discussed why bands don't go huh anymore.
Ooh. We were doing Dirty Black Summer.
Ooh.
Oh my God, we were loopy on the way home. And then you went into the truck stop and got us fucking truck Pez.
Boy, you're really recapping the whole deal, aren't you?
Yeah, it's not every day you get a truck stop Pez dispenser and fucking sing all the way home. Should be every day.
If anybody's heading up I-75 toward Toledo, you can stop at the Travel Something gas station.
Travel America.
Travel America and get your 50-cent Pez dispensers. They're actually the perfect size to go with my King Kong action figure behind me.
Oh my God, you put a truck in his hand?
He's standing on it.
I really need like Oscar consideration for my fucking Patreon videos because, bro.
As a director of Patreon videos?
Yeah, like I do good work on those. I'm proud of those.
The Oscar nominees for Best Patreon Video.
I would be so excited. Best Oscar short film.
It's a long way off from that. I don't even think they give Oscars to horror films. And
no, they don't. You're right. Yeah. If you guys saw our Patreon video or if you want to see them, join our Patreon. We got 2 new pates today from your kitty bubble picture.
Well, look at that.
Kitty bubble.
I just got done doing a holiday special with the Bigfoot Collectors Club.
Oh, yeah.
Bryce and Riley and Michael and Betsy Sidaro, and it was very fun. I wore a Santa hat, and we did a conspiratorial, ufological, cryptozoological trivia game.
Who else was on it?
What do you mean? It was me and then the 3 hosts for Bigfoot Collectors Club and Betsy Sidaro.
Oh, I thought there would have been like other guests, like to be the other game people.
No.
Did they do it like video for Patreon only?
I think that this is I think it's downloadable now. You could pay to watch it live, and then I think there's another thing you can buy to watch the replay of it.
Cute.
It was very cute. How do you think I did on the trivia game?
Probably killed everybody.
I dominated it.
Not surprised.
It was one of those things because I'm on camera, and as they're reading the questions, I had to make sure I didn't nod my head when they said the right answer because other people were playing, and I have a tendency to go like, that's the one. And then I realized that would have been a hint to everybody. So I had to hold my head still.
Crazy. What did you win?
Nothing. Just the right to say that I dominated.
We forgot on the way on the trip, we played our sign game again with the town names.
Ohio is the best state to do it with.
We did Lucky Haskins.
Yeah, Lucky Haskins. Well-known Confederate of John Dillinger. Lucky Haskins was shot down at just outside of Tucumcari, New Mexico.
Is that a real place?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You think I just made up Tucumcari?
Yeah, literally. Wait, I just remembered the only funny joke you told all weekend.
Oh, what was it?
I don't know how to tell you without telling you. The one where the guy buys the ticket.
Oh my goodness. So there's a guy standing in line to buy a train ticket, and the woman who's selling tickets has big breasts. And so he's waiting, and there's a guy in front of him, and the guy in front of him walks up to the lady and says, "I'll have 2 pickets to Pittsburgh." And the guy is mortified. And so the guy behind him turns him around and says, "Don't worry about it. Don't be mortified. You're fine. You were thinking one thing and you said another. That happens to me all the time. It happened to me this morning. This morning I was sitting at breakfast with my wife and I meant to say, 'Pass the cream.' And instead I said, 'You fucking whore, you wrecked my life.'"
Why is that so funny? That's so funny.
Why do you think that's so funny?
I don't know. It's so funny. Okay, well, in comparison to the other jokes that you tell that aren't even jokes, that's like the best joke ever.
That joke is, you talk about my jokes just being weird sentences. That's just a weird paragraph, that joke.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh my God.
Okay, what a refrigerator fell out of a tree. Why? That's not a fucking joke.
Because it was 5:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, what?
You have to hear the other jokes for it to make sense.
I hate it. You know, I read today that near Alpena, that's by where your dad lives, right?
Yes.
They found these like fucking sinkholes that, first of all, I thought only a sinkhole was like a dirt sinkhole. I didn't know there were water sinkholes,
Sure.
but there are. And they said there's these sinkholes up there that they've been what's the word? What am I looking for?
I don't know.
Investigating. That's the word. I don't know what I was trying to say, but anyway, they've been investigating and doing research and going down in the sinkholes and like doing scuba and shit. And they said there's organisms and these ancient ferns down there that like aren't found anywhere else in the fucking world. They found like a new world down there.
Yeah. Michigan is swampy. People don't realize.
Yeah, we're like prehistoric, like shit came here because we got all the waters.
Yeah. We have prehistoric cedar swamps up in northern Michigan.
Do you know we have a redwood tree?
We do have redwood trees.
I think it's redwood. Is that what I meant to say?
I don't know. You can't go back in the swamp on my family's property because like people don't come back.
You'll sink in it?
Yeah. When we were little kids, we were always told not to go back there. That's where the Bigfoot lives.
No, I know we heard it. No, I meant not redwood, sequoias. We have giant sequoias.
We did.
We do.
We're in the Upper Peninsula.
It says in Michigan we have 3. In Manistee, there's one that's 72 years old that was planted in 1949 and last measured in 2016. It's 100 feet tall. And some doctor at California, Berkeley said it's one of the most important trees in the whole world because it like really shouldn't be here.
Do you know that most of the trees in Michigan are like less than 50 years old?
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, because Michigan, our forests were lumbered to like build the rest of America. So they went through Michigan and just flatlanded us. I mean, every tree in Michigan was taken out.
No.
Yeah.
I like how we end on that after we talked about stealing trees at the beginning of the episode.
See, it all comes back around.
We're just tree stealers. Oh, and we also went to see Babylon this week, but we can't talk about it yet because there's a review embargo.
Ooh.
We're allowed to say we liked it, though. I liked it.
It's for me.
For me.
There you go. No spoilers. Adam Barry.
Adam Barry. They would love that movie. I feel like him and Ben would love Babylon.
I think, yeah, for sure.
Do you want to know something crazy that I learned this week?
You want to take me to buy a Christmas tree?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All done. See you later.
No, wait, listen. I learned that, okay, you know narwhals.
Are you asking me if I know what narwhals are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you know that their horn is not a fucking horn? It's their left front tooth.
Yeah, it's a tooth.
It's a fucking left front tooth, which makes it a tusk. And usually only males can grow them, but sometimes females can grow them, and they don't use them to fight. They use them to impress each other. Please be impressed by my stunningly long, weird tooth horn.
Do you know that it's because of them that the legends of unicorns persisted for so long?
It should be. I don't know who else it would be about.
No, because sailors would catch narwhals and kill them and cut their horns off, then take them back and say that we found land that had unicorns. Here's their horns. And they had these giant spiral horns. And so it kept the legends of unicorns going for a long time.
Yeah, what if back then they really knew that that was a tooth, and then people thought that unicorns had a big crazy tooth and not a horn?
How would you draw a unicorn with a big tooth?
That's what I'm saying. It would be so weird. It would be like,
Someone draw it. Someone who's listening, draw a unicorn with a big fucked up tooth.
the horn just points down. Oh my god.
Unitooth.
I think that's all I got. I think that's all we've done. Other than that, I've literally been sleeping every day until 3:00 in the afternoon.
Wow, pretty good.
I'm going to bed at 6 and waking up at 3.
I'm slowly digitizing hundreds of old cassette tapes.
You have like a couple things to work on for our show, and you've chosen to digitize old tapes.
Yeah.
The day before stuff is due, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't have time. I was fucking.
It's really funny because every now and then, like, I'll find an interview with a client that I did about a ghost case. And I'm like, oh, I could do a Realm of the Weird about this that I totally forgot about. And I have this recording. And then the next cassette tape is I got bored one night and played acoustic guitar for an hour and just recorded it.
And you kept it.
And I kept it.
I like it. Well, we're going to have our live show on December 23rd.
Yeah.
So get ready, and we'll say a really crazy secret on there.
Well, the big reveal.
Big reveal that people can participate in. ...
And the 23rd is free and live for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not behind the paywall. It'll be streaming live on YouTube, and then we'll probably have a Patreon only after show like we did last time. What else?
That's it. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'm going to drink some water.
I'm gonna work out. Oh, I started watching last night. Finally, that Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of it yet?
Nope.
I only watched the first episode and it was really good.
All right.
It's about occult shit.
All right.
But yeah, it's 8 episodes and it's kind of like, like Tales from the Crypt. It's just like short stories.
An anthology.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
That's what I call anthologies. Tales from the Crypt episodes.
What was that?
All anthologies to me are Tales from the Crypt episodes. That's my point of reference. How's Raymond?
He's fine.
Yeah, I was reading up on my plant that I got today, that ghoul, my little lettuce, evil lettuce, and it said in the wild that my kind of plant can grow 65 feet tall.
Holy shit.
I know, but it said it needs a lot of sun and water and space. But if you don't grow it in those conditions, it'll just stay a little nugget.
Just stay a little ghoul.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tiny ghoul. Okay, let's go get a tree sometime soon.
Sunday, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it. I'm going to go watch Night of the Howling Beast.
You gave me that poster.
I know.
I have it by my front door.
It's otherwise known as The Werewolf versus the Yeti,
Yeah.
with stars from the movie Horror Express.
Yeah. Paul Naschy. How do you say it?
Yeah.
See, I know stuff.
See, you do know stuff. Good work, buddy.
Oh, it's funny. Head pat. I know stuff.
All right.
All right. Go fuck off somewhere.
All right. Go get punched by your dog.
Not again.
Toad, punch her one more time for me before the end of the podcast.
He's not doing it. He's being a good baby.
All right. Fine.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye. Whenever you go really high, it cuts you off. People can't hear you. You have to go a little lower. That was perfect.
Gross.